Hi, I'm Tricia Bear from the Guardians of Service program, and today we have Kenneth Mott here. He's the commander of VFW Post 1189 from Okmulgee, and then we also have Sam Richardson. He's the senior vice commander of Post 1189 VFW in Okmulgee.
Well, thank you very much, Trish. I appreciate you inviting Post 1189 Veterans of Foreign Wars here. And I want to thank the Guardians of Service for having us come on and try to tell you a little bit about one of the programs we have been working with, Vets for Pets, and that we're there in Okmulgee. So thank you for inviting us here. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. What is the Vets for Pets mission?
Well, our primary mission is to help support the Humane Society with their events and whatever else they may need.
Okay, and then who are the sponsors for the Vets for Pets program?
Well, a lot of times when we do adoption events, we have local business providing the refreshments for the volunteers. It's $40, but they could only donate once a year. And that $40 will cover the water, the donuts, the coffee, and just something for the volunteers that's coming out there so they have something warm or cold to drink.
Okay. And then one of your events is called Dog Days of Summer. When is that event?
Well, Dog Days of Summer is going to be in July 12th from 9 to 2. It's going to be at the VFW Post 1189, 1427 North Okmulgee Avenue. Some of the events we're going to be having is volleyball, horseshoes, cornhole, dodgeball, and the main event will be the dog race, and that should be starting at 12. But also we're going to have vendors there. If a vendor has dog-related products or dog biscuits, or they make dog food, whatever they have, they can come out there for free and set up their booth and sell any pet-related item out there for free.
Okay.
Well, with this event, so what our goal is try to get, we want VFW and to be able to see a little bit more out in the community. We're there for the needs, if anything we can help with. This is just one way to do it. So I'm really enthused about this Dog Days of Summer program coming up. We'd be really glad to see the public come out there and see this event. Hopefully, we expect to see you all there.
All right, and you said you're going to have music there as well?
We should have music and everything, the speakers. It should be a fun event. I think the main thing is the dog race. When we let the dogs go, the owner's it's a 100-yard sprint, and it's going to be funny that once we let the dogs go, they see them running around instead of going to their owners and everything. So it should be a fun event. There should be a lot of fast dogs out there.
Okay, and you've got 3 groups: small, medium, and large dogs.
Small, medium, and large. We're going to be we're going to give out a gift card, $30 gift card for a local business for all first place winners and everything. So.
All right, so the first place winners are going to get a $30 gift card for the dog race. The Vets for Pets program, they meet 4 times a year. What days do they meet?
Well, we meet once a quarter. And that's on a Saturday, the second Saturday. Our next meeting will be August 9th at 12:30 at the VFW. And if you have anybody that has any concerns, or our meetings are open and the public can speak up in the meetings, not like a traditional rules of order, but we do let concerned citizens speak up. And that's how we're going to fix some of the problems that we have in our communities. And we want a lot of input from community members. We also have the Humane Society director. She is on our committee too. And that's what we want. We want to work with all different local organizations, and we all could solve this problem if we all work together.
Right. And Heather is a dog trainer, and she's in the VFW Vets for Pets program, so she's also going to be at the meetings as well. So if you need a trainer for your dog, she can help train your dog. What other events are coming up for Vets for Pets?
Well, we do 4 events a year. We do one in May 4th, Star Wars Day, where we dress up the animals as Star Wars characters. We do that in Okmulgee at the Pocket Park on 6th Street. We also participate in Harlan Ford Car Show, which is this month on the 28th. The Humane Society is going to be out there with animals to adopt. So what we do is we help set up the canopies, help walk the dogs or whatever they may need, with help with transport or whatever needs they may have. That'll be the 28th of this month with the car show. Then we're also going to do our third event is the Dog Days of Summer, which we talked about earlier, and then the last event we do per year is September 8th, and that is Star Trek Day. So we're going to be dressing our animals as Star Trek characters, and it should be a fun event.
Okay, and do you have a contest on there?
Yeah, we do have a contest. We give out first, second, and third place
All right.
prizes, and it's a gift card. First prize 40, second is 30, and third place is 20. They come out there and win a gift card at a local restaurant or whatever we get the cards for.
All right. And then I was gonna.
So his wife won second place.
Oh, really, last time?
Well, yeah, that event. So you're talking about that event. So that it was amazing. That little park that they have there in Okmulgee, with the ones they dressed up. You know, the funny thing about that. Let me tell you a little story. We had all these animals there doing this event, but one of the people in town bring a lamb. The lamb was just a few weeks old.
Oh, wow.
And he stole the show, right? It was just amazing. This little lamb, and they dressed him up as a Star Wars character, and that was just one thing, and it was just wow, you know, and everybody loved it. So it wasn't. It was a little different, but it was great. It was fun.
That's awesome. I know in Henrietta they're going to have a car show August the 30th. So our Vets for Pets program will be there as well, and so we're going to have a pet costume contest. Also, and the first prize is $100, second prize is $50, and third prize is $25. So if you're interested in entering your pet in that, we'll be outside of the briefcase on Main Street in Henrietta, and we'll probably start the registration process for that about 10 o'clock. And then at the car show on August 30th, last year they had, I think, about over 75 cars. And they'll also have a mustache and beard contest and also a pinup contest inside the briefcase. So if you're interested in that, it's August the 30th in Henrietta. And in Okmulgee, you all have the spade and neuter program.
Yeah, that spade and neutering program, that was right across from that old theater there in Okmulgee on 7th Street. And there are a couple of businesses right there. So how I found about it, when I'm trying to help Sam with this program, and I went down to that event, and I've never seen so many cats around, just walking all these streets and alleys. So I started walking around and looking around that area in town, and they would try to capture some of these pets and put food out, or the cats, and they were capturing them. So if they capture them, then they take them to a vet, they get them checked, and then they'll put a little clip on there so we know they've been trapped before. But the funny thing about that, when we're looking at all this happening, we're catching these pets and we're walking around. Well, one funny thing that happened is I'm looking down an alley, and snap, there goes the cage, right? And I'm, okay, let me go down and look at this. I'm going down, and what's in that cage? And you got a cage about so big, right? What was a skunk? I'm like, whoa, right? We got a skunk in here, so everybody's like backing up. So we got a hold of the Humane Society, and sure enough, they come right down to the rescue with their truck and showed us how to take care of this skunk. And he draped a big towel over the cage and picked him up and says, all you have to do, walk real slow. And he had the towel in front of him, and he goes over there and covers it up so nothing happens, right? And I'm sitting there watching, and Nothing happened. Picked him up, took him to his truck, and a little while later he came back with the cage. He took him out of town, so he's in a safe location, not there in town, and set him free. There wasn't nothing to happen to any animals at all. So that was just one thing that happened in this process, along with all the volunteers that were there to help do this. Because we have a lady out there that has a lot of these cages, and they're trying to do that throughout the town. Because there's a lot of that happening through all of our communities. So anything that we can do to try to help that spade, neuter, whatever is needed, and we're getting help from local veterinarians, they're all helping, along with other businesses in towns, they're all helping. And I think once other communities find out about it, Okmulgee, Henrietta, the VFW down here in Henrietta also, this is going to be a great thing. It's going to be very helpful.
And to add to that, it was animal control. Not
animal control.
Animal control
well,
came out and everything.
He had a truck, and I'm thinking, this guy, he knows how he's doing it.
So Kathy is she's a real estate agent down there, and she took the lead on it. Okmulgee City Council donated $2,000 for spade and neutering for the cats. Also, Kathy and the nutrition shop, they local business donated over $950 to help spade and neuter and everything. I'm working with you guys, opposed to VFW 539, where you have a hospital here, veterinary hospital, which they're going to match that price. Hopefully, I'll get with them today, and we can start that program up here. And I know you're taking the lead on that, VFW 539. But currently, we spayed and neutered 34 cats.
34 cats
34 cats so far and everything. And Kathy was a big, she's pushing everything, and we try to help support her in that thing. So.
And can you kind of explain that? Because you catch the cat, and then you spade and neuter them, and then you release them back into the same territory where they came from.
Yes, because basically cats are territorial. And if you just kill them all, okay, new cat's gonna move in. But if you spade and neuter them, they can't reproduce, but they'll stay in that area and keep other cats out and everything. And how this program works is that through, they either get hit by a car, other predators get them, and that's how the population dwindle and everything. People are like, why don't you just kill them? No, that's not gonna solve anything, because more cats are just gonna move in. But if you just keep them there and you just control the population, eventually it will go down. And
when they Humane Society up there in Okmulgee, they just had their groundbreaking a week or so ago, and she was talking about the numbers over X amount of years of what one cat litters are, and it was in the multiplication of this was in the hundreds. I think she was into the thousands over a period of so many years. I was astonished how these animals can multiply.
And if anyone has a question about your events or vets for pets, do you want them to email you?
Well, it's on the flyer and everything, but my email address is richmakeamove@aol.com. And they also get called our post number. You have the. Well, the main point of contact is richmakeamove@aol.com.
Well, that's the main one. If they need to get a hold of the post in Okmulgee, they can get a hold of the post at 918-756-7559. That is the post main phone number for the Okmulgee Post, along with anything else that may need for whether it's veterans or whatever. But the post is open to the community.
Okay. And then, so both of you are with the Okmulgee VFW Post 1189. So what are some of the missions that the VFW Post does there, and what day and time do they meet?
Well, we meet every third Saturday at 11 a.m. Okay, so, and then also the Post Auxiliary meets at the same time. So once a month we have that meeting, and anybody that's wants to try to get involved with VFW, they come see us, and we'll be more than glad to help them. Any veterans that need any assistance, come to help them. Any other programs that we're trying to get other programs going in the community and be more visible out there, so that they know the post is there in Okmulgee, just like the other posts are here in Henrietta. They try to help anybody they can. I know what you're doing with Guardians of Service, exactly what you're trying to do, help other veterans too, and find out, I'm reading this thing, Veterans Fighting for Veterans' Rights. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen out there, and veterans all need help. I ran into a guy just the other day that came in that was a disabled vet. Something had happened to him and he didn't have any place to live. Well, what can you do? I got him some food and got him a place for one night so he could do something. So we have programs where something like that happens. We can try to help the vets and then get them help from the VA. And I know you do a lot of that also, helping as a service officer, stuff like that for veterans. So I know you're really involved with that. So I think for that thing, you have more knowledge than I do, and I want to get the word out, but you got the knowledge to help vets in those areas if they need it. So.
Right, yeah, so I'm the Veteran Service Officer for the DAV out of Krebs, and I work at the VFW in Henrietta. But what I do is I help veterans get their VA benefits. So if it's a VA disability, they need information on education, how to get their dependent added. So we do Guardians of the Service program once a month, and we talk about VA benefits, but we also talk about the resource organizations that are here to help veterans and their dependents. So we've met with Visiting Angels, Cornerstone Caregiving Program. We're going to meet with Eagle Ops and Hope for Heroes also in the next couple of months. But all of those agencies help veterans. So if they are homeless, like Kai Boys or SSVF, they help veterans that are homeless or at the risk of becoming homeless. They help pay for your rent and your utilities to get you on your feet again. So there are a lot of agencies out there that help veterans, but they just don't know about it. That's why we started the Guardians of Service program, to educate veterans and their dependents on what benefits are available to them.
And that's what I found when this incident happened just last week. And it turned out to be 2 veterans. But when it first started, it was 1. I did not realize, and these young guys, they're in their 30s and had been in Iraq and different things. I didn't realize, you might hear stories about vets and being homeless, but I didn't realize maybe how much it really is until I had these 2 things happen where I actually saw it firsthand. And I was like, really, I felt so bad. I wanted to do more, but you can try to help them, give them the resources, and try to at least get started. But things happen sometimes with vets. You hear, you just don't want to hear that. At least I don't, not with veterans. But and look at what's happening around the world right now. Our veterans are out there for us. So I get real patriotic when we start talking about veterans. I just get so moved when I start thinking about that thing, about veterans and what they've done in the past for our country. So again, thank you, Trish. I can't thank you enough for getting this out here and letting us speak a little bit.
Yeah, no problem at all. And the VFW is Veterans of Foreign Wars. So to be eligible to join the Veterans of Foreign Wars, you have had to have served in a combat zone, like Iraq. Korea is even a combat zone. So you've had to serve in a combat zone. And then for our auxiliary, to be in the auxiliary, you have to be a child of a veteran that was a combat veteran, or you can be the parent of a combat veteran or a grandparent of that combat veteran. So that's what makes you eligible to join the auxiliary, which is our key support group that helps the VFW do our missions, which one of our missions at Henrietta is we do Feed the Vets every 90 days. Our next one's going to be September the 4th at 11 o'clock. So we meet at the New Life Assembly of God Church in Henrietta off of Lake Road, and we issue food out at 11 o'clock every quarter.
Trish, that event that 539 put on was so spectacular. I went to that event, and what did we have? We had the football team there helping, putting this stuff together, putting the vegetables together in boxes. There was a whole lot of people, and then the lines were there. People were coming in, the veterans, And I know there were some other people needed help. They helped them. That's what they did. They helped other people in the community. They weren't totally all vets, but they were helping people. And the organization that donated that food, I was blown away when I was there for that event. So great job with that.
Yeah,
Great job, because you were there. I saw you.
Yes.
You were there, keeping everybody trying to go. And I'm like, man, Tricia, she's got all this going. But that was a spectacular event. So yeah, you got another one coming up. Great.
Well, thank you. And it was the Dewar football team was the majority of our volunteers. And the coach told me, he said, I asked them, they didn't have to come. It wasn't mandatory, but the whole entire Dewar football team showed up.
Was that what it was, Dewar
Yes.
football team? Because they had
Entire
jerseys
team.
on, as I remember.
Yes.
I think weren't they red?
Yes, they were
and
red.
I'm like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen so many young people come to something like that was part of veterans, because you don't see a lot of that anymore, maybe, that you used to in schools. So patriotism and that kind of stuff, I'm like, yes, give them something, and they're helping people. And I was watching those guys doing it, and they're taking them all that food off those pallets, and they're putting them in bags and giving them to the people. Great. And that's just one thing. And it's like, there's lots to do. There's lots to do. And Vets for Pets is just one thing. So hopefully we all have animals. So with Vets for Pets and the way a lot of times they're multiplying, we all have and love animals. So if we can do something to help our communities that it relates to pets, let's try to do it.
Right, and if you have any free puppies, like I had a group yesterday at Shoney's that had 4 or 5 little puppies that we're going to give away for free. So call my number at 479-414-0952 if you have pets to give away, or you see a pet out in town and you think it's lost. Send me their picture and we'll advertise that on our social media page to try to help find that pet their home, because they're lost or whatever. If you have free animals to give away, let us know and we'll help promote them and advertise for you to help find that pet their home, whatever home they came from. So that's one thing that our Vets for Pets does in Henrietta, is try to help them find the home that they were lost from. Is there any other information you wanted to explain to the audience?
I think people wonder why we meet up only once a quarter and why not every month. But the reason why we meet up once a quarter is to get the stuff done on the agenda. But we have teams that work on behalf of the committee. And just like Henrietta Vet for Pets 539, you are in charge of your team, and you are currently doing stuff every day, working with different animals and working with people. So the teams that we have, we had Wendy Chevrolet, they had a team, and we was trying to get McDonald's on board to get a team, or the different schools. Okmulgee, not Okmulgee, but OSU, Paws, they have a team. So what happens is they work on behalf of the committee, and they work throughout the month and everything. So again, they work on behalf of the committee, and they work on issues that they need to get done. So the meetings are just to see what they need, what kind of help, what program we're going to do next. But the committees work every day on behalf of Vets for Pets. So we don't have to meet every month. So when people think, why only meet once every 3 months, it's just to knock out the paperwork, the minutes and stuff that we need. Eventually we're going to apply for grants that are out there. But again, we have to show the work first on what we are doing and give them the data, and then we can apply from some of the grants. Currently we are 501c3 19, but again, we can apply for some of the grants through our state, which is a 501c3, and what happens is we go to the grants through them, and then from there they filter money back down to us and everything. So a lot of the grants, they want you to be a 501c3, and but we could get that money through the state national, and they can filter money back down to us. So that's one of our plans. Maybe we're looking at grants for next month to help with Okmulgee spay and neuter program and everything. So.
All right. One other thing I wanted to mention about the VFW, Every year we have 2 separate essay competitions, and the deadline on those is October 31st. There's one called Patriot Pen, and then there's another one called Voice of Democracy. The Voice of Democracy is for 9th through 12th graders. The Patriot Pen is for 6th through 8th graders. They can actually win $5,000 for their essay at the national level, and we have 4 levels before we get to, or 3 other levels before we get to the national level. So for that essay, they can win money at the post level. The district level for our district is 5 towns in this area, and then they can win money at the state level before they even go in front of the national competition. We had a guy from Oklahoma several years ago that won either 4th or 5th place, and he got $5,000 for his essay. But for the Voice of Democracy essay, you can actually win up to $35,000 college scholarship for that one essay.
And I know that you're talking about both of those 2 events. That I think the one we did one what was that first one?
Patriot Pen.
Yeah, that pins. I know we did that one, and Big School I think was the only one that submitted those, because I was one of those judges on that and read those things. So it's really amazing to see that they were middle school kids, to see what they wrote based on the theme, and to see what their thinking process was doing all that. So that was pretty amazing. So, and a lot of times the schools don't know about these programs, both of those programs. So if the schools knew more, or the teachers knew about them, so they could present them to the students, they could get more participation on that, and then they would have more winners in Oklahoma and in this area. So that would be great.
And I think at our post, Molly Chu, she won 3rd place at District 7 level. And then the year before that, we had a kid that won 1st place at the state level.
Yeah.
And then last year we won the State Teacher of the Year with Elizabeth Ramos from Schulter. And then the year before that we won 1st place at the state level for Justin Bean, who being the State Teacher of the Year.
That's great.
So
great.
There's all kinds of ways to win money at the VFWs. I'll give you all, if you want, 2 posters that I have in the car for those competitions. What I do is I take them to the 5 schools in our area and put them on the front main entrance of the school.
Okay.
And then it has your phone number on there. But if you want, I'll give you guys a couple posters.
Yeah, it'd be good to get more participation from the schools in both those programs.
Yes.
Because a lot of times they don't. I think they just don't know about them, because there's a lot to be had for scholarships and winnings. Be surprised. A lot of people don't realize that they're just there. No one, just write the essay on the theme.
See, the amazing part about it is, once you make it to state, you have a 1 in 55 chance of winning the prize. First prize is 35 grand.
Yes.
Second prize is 25 grand. And then 3rd prize, I think it's 15. But also, they'll fly you out there to Washington, D.C., and that's where the conference at and everything. They'll fly, the parents get to go to?
I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure.
Well, okay, I got to check on that. But again, it's 1 in 55 chance of winning that thing. Once you make it to state, because you're only competing against 55 other people, 50 states and 5 other territories. And everything.
Well, that's good, because the groups that it's in Tricia's group out here seeing what we're doing today, they have a better chance of winning those competitions by just us putting the information out there, because if the other ones don't know about it or haven't participated, they have got a very good chance, just like the winners you've had. They got a very good chance in that. Instead of thinking, oh, it's too many people. No, maybe not. So come on, apply for it. Go ahead, write those essays.
Right, and the essays are only like 300 to 400 words. On the Patriot Pen, it's just a typed essay. And then the Voice of Democracy is a typed essay, but you do an audio on MP3, and that's what you submit. So it's not a visual presentation, it's an audio. So you're just reading your essay, and it's only like 1 page typed is 300 to 400 words.
Okay.
And this year, I believe the theme for it is how do you show your patriotism to our country?
That's a good theme. How do you show your patriotism? I'm all for it.
And they usually have different themes, but this year it's the same theme for both essays.
Okay, great.
So if you're interested in that, call me at 479-414-0952, and we'd love to send you an application for that. And like I said, the deadline's the end of October, so you have plenty of time to write that this summer. So
that's great.
all right. Well, thank you for watching the Guardians of Service program.
And I thank you again, Trish, for the Guardians of Service. I'm so thankful that you gave this opportunity to put some of this information out to the public. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Have a good day.
Thank you.